Once upon a time, there was a just and wise king who ruled over a vast and prosperous land. His people loved him dearly, held him in high respect, and lived happily together. However, there was one thing that always troubled the king. He had no heir to his throne. One day, he gathered skilled physicians and wise men around him and asked them to come up with a solution to this problem. After much research and effort, they created a life-giving potion using extracts from 1,000 ancient herbs. The king drank from this potion for 40 days, and on the 40th night, he went to his wife and spent the night with her. After some time, the physicians and the king's advisors brought him good news. His wife was pregnant, and they would soon be blessed with a son. Following the birth of the son, the king ordered a 7-day celebration in the city where people danced and rejoiced everywhere. The king gathered all the nobles and courtiers to choose a fitting and noble name for his son. Everyone suggested names, but the king was not pleased with any of them. One night, he saw a male lion approaching him in a dream, telling him that God had bestowed upon his son a brave heart like that of a lion, and thus he should name his son Sheerdel, which in Persian means someone as brave and courageous as a lion. Years passed, and Sheerdel, under the guidance of experienced mentors, excelled in skills such as horseback riding, archery, and swordsmanship during his youth. As he grew older, his beauty and charm multiplied, and every day more girls fell in love with him and longed to be with him. One day the king summoned Sheerdel and said to him, "My son, now that you are mature, wise, and skilled in many arts, it is time for you to travel the world. For it is only through traveling that you can mature and gain valuable experiences. What you have learned so far is not enough for your future reign. You must venture far and wide, engage with different people, and share in their joys and sorrows, experiencing the realities of life beyond the palace walls, away from luxury and comfort." He continued, "Your mission is to travel to cities and villages across the country, learn about the hardships and difficulties faced by the people, and help them lead better lives." And finally, he warned him, "In your travels, see everything. But I caution you never to go near a castle named Wisdom Robber, for there you will encounter great suffering and hardship. If you come across that castle on your journey, immediately steer clear of it to remain safe from the dangers and traps within." Sheerdel listened attentively to the king's words, revered them, and promised to fulfill his mission with all his might, returning proudly to his father. At dawn, the servants adorned Sheerdel's horse and prepared a saddle for his journey. Sheerdel donned fine attire, strapped a golden sword to his waist, mounted his white horse, and rode towards the city gate, embarking on his adventurous journey amid the excitement and joy of the city's people. Sheerdel traveled to many cities and villages, helping the people and solving their problems. He fought against thieves and bandits, overthrowing oppressive and unworthy rulers. He stabilized the economic conditions in cities and villages, revitalized farms and orchards, and ultimately, after years of traveling to various regions, he was able to establish prosperity, order, and security throughout his father's kingdom. One day on his way back home, he passed by a mountain where a magnificent and grand castle at the mountain's peak caught his eye. Curious, he inquired about the castle's name and learned that it was the very castle Wisdom Robber that his father had warned him to stay away from. Due to the allure and grandeur of the castle, he couldn't resist the temptation and decided to climb the mountain to see it. As he approached the castle, he saw a gate made of pure gold, adorned with precious jewels and gemstones. He called out, "Is anyone here?" but received no response. He decided to enter the castle and uncover the secrets of this abandoned and beautiful fortress. Upon entering the castle, he saw a vast hall with massive stone columns, adorned with intricate carvings and images of beautiful women that captivated one's intellect with their beauty. As he walked through the hall, mesmerized by the images, he reached the end wall where the largest and most beautiful painting was hung. The painting depicted a young maiden dressed in exquisite attire, her face shining with beauty like a full moon, her long tresses captivating every heart, and her eyes holding unparalleled beauty and charm in the world. Her lips were as red as pomegranate, and a beautiful dimple adorned her cheek, enhancing her allure. Sheerdel, filled with awe and longing, was entranced by the sight of the maiden in the painting and instantly knew that he had fallen deeply in love with her, unable to escape from this burning love. He spent 3 days and 3 nights mesmerized by the painting until, overcome by weakness and fatigue, he fainted and saw an angel in his dream. He asked the angel for the name and identity of the enchanting maiden. The angel replied, "This painting is an image of the only daughter of the Emperor of China. However, you must know that the Emperor has kept her away from the public eye for years, forbidding anyone to meet her." Upon waking from his dream, Sheerdel wrote a letter to his father, recounting the story of his love, and at the end wrote, "O my father, I have done everything in my power for the prosperity of our land. But now my fate is not in my own hands. In whatever love demands of me, I shall do. Wherever love calls, I shall go, and I shall obey every command that love issues." He handed the letter to a messenger and set off for the mysterious land of China. Since in those days China was a very distant and unreachable land, his journey lasted 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days. But finally, after enduring many hardships, he managed to reach the court of the Emperor of China. Sheerdel approached the palace gate, introduced himself, and expressed his desire to meet the emperor. Upon hearing Sheerdel's name, the emperor was delighted as news of his wisdom and the prosperity he had brought to his own land had reached his ears. The emperor turned towards Sheerdel and said, "O young man, it is evident that you have come a long way here. Tell me, what is your goal, and what have you come to this land for?" Sheerdel recounted the story of the Wisdom Robber Castle, the beautiful painting, and his burning love to the emperor, saying, "I have fallen deeply in love with your daughter, and I wish to ask for her hand in marriage." Upon hearing this statement, murmurs arose among the courtiers seated around the royal hall, as no prince had dared to make such a bold request to the emperor before. The emperor frowned, and after a long silence replied, "It is clear that you have a brave and fearless heart, and your father has indeed chosen a good name for you. I do not recall anyone showing such audacity before. However, you should know that my daughter has suitors from 7 distant lands, and I intend to summon them all to China so that my daughter may choose a husband, as I have grown old and my heart desires to have a grandchild who will inherit my throne. Otherwise, chaos and turmoil will spread everywhere after my death." Finally, the promised day arrived, and the suitors from the 7 regions of the kingdom, along with Sheerdel, gathered in a hall. Everyone was busy boasting and praising themselves when the sound of the footsteps of the emperor's daughter caught everyone's attention, and a deep silence fell over the hall. Sheerdel, whose gaze was fixed on the entrance door of the hall, saw a shadow of the emperor's daughter on the wall, and his heart started to beat faster, his hands trembling. Eventually, the emperor's daughter entered the hall, took her seat, and unveiled her face. At that moment, as if a fresh sun had risen, all the hearts of the suitors were immersed in light, love, and hope. Then the daughter spoke. "Today I will choose one of you as my husband. But before that, I have a question that has surprised and puzzled me. My question is, why have you all come to ask for my hand in marriage before me, when my sister, who is 100 times more beautiful, enchanting, and attractive than me, is standing right behind you?" Upon hearing this statement, all the suitors except Sheerdel immediately turned around to see the emperor's daughter's sister, but there was no one there except an old serving woman. The daughter said, "Now I have made my choice. All of you have come here driven by your own desires, except Sheerdel, who is the only true lover of mine. A true lover is one who is so enamored by the beauty of his beloved that he forgets himself in the world." In this enchanting tale of love, bravery, and selflessness, we are reminded of the transformative power of true love and genuine devotion. Sheerdel's unwavering commitment to his beloved, even in the face of daunting challenges and temptations, serves as a beacon of spiritual wisdom. His ability to see beyond the surface beauty and recognize the essence of love within his heart reflects a deeper understanding of the divine connection that binds all souls. The emperor's daughter's test of the suitors reveals a profound truth about the nature of love, that it transcends physical appearances and material desires. It is a force that illuminates the soul, guiding us towards a higher purpose and a deeper connection with the divine. Through Sheerdel's journey, we learn that true love is not merely a fleeting emotion, but a sacred bond that requires sacrifice, courage, and unwavering faith. Ultimately, the story teaches us that true love is a spiritual journey that leads us to a place of selflessness, compassion, and unity. It reminds us that love is the essence of our existence, the light that guides us through darkness, and the eternal flame that burns within our hearts. May we all strive to embody the spirit of Sheerdel, the true lover who found his beloved not only in the external world, but within the depths of his own soul. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next tales. Until our next tale unfolds in the tapestry of time, farewell.